edition of softball for Peninsula District High School. Along with Roger Cawthon, Mike Hauser here at Francis Asbury Park, where the Lady Warriors of Kecoughtan will play host to the Lady Bruins of Bethel. Both entering the game with equal records of 5-1. Roger?
Yeah, when they started the week, Mike, they were undefeated, but both teams suffered a loss this week, dropping them to 5-1 and in second place in the district behind Woodside. And, of course, Woodside, everybody's picked to be in first place. No surprise there.
Yeah, they've got a couple of all-staters playing on that team. There's no doubt about that. Well, the first pitch is in there. It's taken for a ball. As we go along, we'll give everybody the starting lineups here for the Lady Bruins. The leadoff batter, Jamie Stokes, she is the pitcher for the Bruins. And she'll be followed by the second baseman, Brittany Hicks. And Jennifer Roberts, who is the center fielder for the Lady Bruins, will follow.
2-1.
2 balls and 1 strike now is the count. And I tell you what, this is a game that I really didn't anticipate playing because of the weather. And last year we came here and it rained almost the entire game. But so far in this game, it looks like we may be able to get this one in a dry situation. As Stokes pops up to the pitcher for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the second baseman, Brittany Hicks.
Brittany Hicks. Second base, Hicks.
Brittany Hicks, a freshman. This is a very young Bethel team coming in.
Outside ball, 1-0 to count.
Yeah, speaking of the weather, we did avoid the rain, but it is chilly.
Yeah, it's a little on the nippy side. Like I was telling you before, been to a couple of the JV games this year and about froze my tushy off. It's been rather nippy here. Hopefully we're in the last week of this cold weather, and by the time we get towards the end of the season on our last telecast, we'll be in the warm weather. That was taken for a call, strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now is the count. Oh, Brittany Hicks, she is the second baseman and the number 2 batter for the Lady Bruins. That looks like it's going to fall for a base hit in left center field, or right center field, and it does. So Hicks reaches first base safely with a base hit.
That's about as solid as they come, dropped right in front of the right fielder, so they get their first base runner.
And with 1 out, runner on first, that'll bring up Jennifer Roberts. She's the Lady Bruins center fielder.
And all district from last year and playing well again this year, probably headed for another all district team.
That's a good throw, Nicole. Good throw.
Pitch was a little bit low for a ball as Brittany Hicks steals, advances to second base. As the throw is a little bit late, here is a replay of the steal. It was real close.
That's just good heads-up base running right there.
You could hear in the towards the background when the runner took off running, somebody hollered left early, and they cannot leave until the ball gets to the batter. Two-0 now is the count. That one just hits the outside corner, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Jennifer Robinson on the mound for Kecoughtan, record of 1-0.
A little easy ground ball to the first baseman over it, and she tags her out for the second out of the inning. Unassisted play by the first baseman of Kecoughtan.
But the runner advances over to third.
Number 12, the catcher.
On the play, so we have a base runner on third.
2 down now as Gabby Gonzalez is now the batter. She's the catcher for the Lady Bruins. Pitch is high and outside.
Gabby, another freshman. These guys are going to be around for a while. A lot of power coming up in the next couple of years.
Oh, a hot shot to the third baseman as she stops the ball. Can she beat it? Ah, she got her at first for the third out of the inning. So after half an inning to play, the Lady Bruins had a hit. There were no errors. One was left. That was a shot to the third baseman.
That was a good play. Very close at first base. Would have scored a run, but they were able to cut him down.
All right, so we'll be coming in here to there's your lineup as we see it. There's the Kecoughtan Warriors, Patty Eubank, third baseman. Erica Van Ness. I like the way he put the E real big so we can make sure it's Van S instead of Vanes. She is our first baseman. Nicole Mugler is the right fielder. Karen Langel, okay. She's the center fielder. Jennifer Robertson is the pitcher. Jennifer Tobin, the second baseman. Elizabeth Arnold, shortstop. Brandy Birch is the left fielder, and Kirsten Smith is the right fielder. And that is your starting lineups for the Kecoughtan Warriors.
Jennifer Robinson pitching today, Mike, because Samantha Cave is not available. She's not in uniform for today's game. So they're going with Robinson, who pitched on Wednesday in their victory.
Well, she was their pitcher last year, too, so she's not a stranger on the mound. She pitched the majority of the games last year for them, so she's got a little bit of experience. She's got a lively arm. The ball moves a lot, so this is something that the Lady Warriors are used to. They're not used to having a different pitcher in there. They know who she is, and so do the rest of the district teams too, because they faced her last year. So we'll see just how much stronger she is this year than she was last year. Even in the first inning, it looked like it was a little bit more livelier. Patty Eubank will lead it off for the Lady Warriors. She is the third baseman.
14, Patty Eubank.
Jenny Stokes on the mound for Bethel. She comes in with a record of 3-1.
Their only loss, I believe, was it Woodside?
Bethel just lost to Woodside on Wednesday. Woodside in first
7-3,
place.
I believe, was the score.
I believe you're right. Woodside's the only team left undefeated in the Peninsula District.
Well, they were the overwhelming favorite to win the district. That's a line shot in the hole there.
Base hit for Eubank.
Base hit as Eubank reaches first base.
That was a line shot, too. That was solid in the left field.
The first baseman, number 18,
Erica Van Ness, the first baseman, is a now batter.
Erica Van Ness is a sophomore.
She played last year because I remember her name.
And a first team all-district.
Squares around a bunt ball and fouls it off. You'll notice that in high school and softball, the first baseman and the third baseman pull in, especially with runners on, because the runners can't advance till the ball's been pitched. And right now she's attempted to sacrifice, and it looks like she's going to do a good job of it, as Eubank will advance to second base on the sacrifice.
Number 19, Nicole.
Just good fundamental softball there. That was a beautiful bunt by Van Ness. Eubank able to advance over to second base with no problem.
Well, now with Eubank at second base and one out, Nicole Mugler, the catcher, is batting. She fouls this one off. 0-1 is the count. One down here at the bottom of the first with a runner in scoring position for the Lady Warriors. That's Patty Eubank.
That didn't take long.
Oh, foul tipped off to that one went off of the catcher's face mask.
That hurts on a warm day. On a cold day like today, you know that hurts.
You can imagine. 0-2 is the count now. Change up and a little looper over the third baseman's head, foul. Count still stays at 0-2. This is our first game televised of the year. We are at Francis Asbury Park, where the Lady Warriors are hosting the Lady Bruins of Bethel. Pitch is low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. On a cloudy, overcast day, we've had drizzle. It looks like it may have stopped. To our cameraman's delight, I'll tell you. A little ground ball to the shortstop makes the play for the out. That'll be out number 2 as Karen Langell, the center fielder, will be up now with 2 outs.
Good play by Erica White to snag that ground ball and get it over to first, keeping the runner at second.
Oh, well, thought the first baseman came off a little early.
They take every advantage they can, don't they?
Some of the people up here besides myself are agreeing. But the umpire over there calling the bases couldn't have seen that one anyhow because he's over there. Uh-oh. Now, let's see what the umpire is going to call here.
Runner interference, 3rd out.
That's what it is.
Of course, you had a 1.
Runner interference
Nothing.
for the 3rd out,
Take it to
as
the
that'll
end.
be 3 outs after 1 complete, no score. There, we can watch it again. Boom!
Eubank just runs right into Erica White, and of course that's interference and the end of the inning. Hope everybody's okay.
So both teams strand a runner in the 1st inning. And wave because we're on the camera.
There it is. There is a guy down there in the stands with no shirt on. I feel like I'm at a college football game. Way to go, guy. Temperature about game time was about 50 degrees, and it's definitely dropped a few degrees since then. So let's give that guy a lot of credit or worry about him, one or the other.
I think I'd be worried about it, especially if it was my son out there. So after 1 complete, no score here, we head into the top of the 2nd inning with the Bethel Bruins. That'll bring up Erica White. She is their shortstop. No, I'm sorry, Jenna Ryan. Thank you, Roger.
I caught it out of the corner of my eye.
Somebody's got to keep me straight.
I tell you.
I figured I'd say that before Scotty down in the truck did. Somebody's got to keep me straight. A little bit of a breeze coming out of the 3rd base side towards the outfield. Not enough to affect anything, I don't think.
Talking with Kecoughtan coach Mark Chrisman, and he said his goal from day 1 was to win the Peninsula District crown, and he is definitely serious about it.
Well, I think any coach in the Peninsula District or any other high school would want to start out the season with that attitude.
They got off to such a fast start, 4-0. Of course, they were the Peninsula District champions in 2002, runner-up last year. So they've got the tradition going.
3rd baseman Ryan. I'll get it out. First pitch outside, ball 1. Top of the 2nd inning, no score. Each team leaving a runner on in the 1st. Little pop up to the shortstop for the out. Out number 1.
Arnold, 1 out. Brings up the
Shortstop Elizabeth Arnold with a nice play there.
White. Shortstop White.
The next batter with an out is the shortstop Erica White. That was a pretty ball, hit right on the outside corner. Catcher was just off to the side enough for us to see that pitch.
That was a pretty pitch. Erica White is a junior.
Pop up back here out of play. 0-2 is the count now. 1 down.
I believe that's our first windshield of the game.
Ooh, that's going to have to be a major foul ball to hit a windshield. Unless we hit a foul ball down the 1st or the 3rd base line where it might hit one of our trucks. Oh, nice changeup. They got her. And Erica White goes down.
Robinson.
That is a backwards K, considered looking. Out number 2.
That is a perfect pitch.
Absolutely.
I was talking to Bethel coach Larry Eastep, and he said their biggest weakness is against an off-speed pitch. So they stood there and watched that one go across, and it'll be interesting to see the rest of the game if they keep throwing those off-speed pitches.
Amanda Sowash, the batter now, the first baseman for the Bethel Lady Bruins. 2 down. Here in the top of the 2nd inning. Little blooper down the 3rd base line, and it's fair ball. She will be credited with a base hit. That's Bethel's 2nd hit of the game.
That thing just did fall fair right down the left field line.
Bet it didn't miss the line by 6 inches, but it was clearly a fair ball.
The left fielder, Brandy Birch, made a good effort, but she just could not get there.
So that will bring up
Ariane Keithley,
yeah, that's her.
the left fielder. Ariane is a sophomore.
So washed down at first base after a little blooper that landed fair for a base hit. As Keithley is now down 0-2. That one gets by the second baseman for
Base hit for Keithley.
a base hit for Keithley, and that will
Number 3, the right
put
fielder,
runners on
Sarah
first and
Brookman.
second. Keithley at first, Sowash at third. That will bring up the number 9 hitter, Sarah Brookman, the right fielder.
Second baseman Jennifer Tobin did everything she could to get to that one. She needed to be about 2-3 inches taller. It just made it over her outstretched glove.
Ooh,
That was a pretty good pitch.
got a strike on it though. Little ground ball to the shortstop as a couple of them almost collided again, but she does get her out this time
No runs
for the
Bethel
third
on
inning
2 hits. Score
as
10 to
the
1.5.
Bethel
Kecoughtan, nothing,
Bruins
Bethel,
strand
nothing.
2 this inning. Back-to-back base hits if we show it again as she sees her running down the baseline and just does get her.
Again, just good fundamental softball. We've seen that several times already here early in the game, and you just got to like it when they do it the way it's supposed to be done.
Contracting, Dandy Haven Marina,
So after an inning and a half, there's still no scores.
and LD.
Lady Bruins 0 and the Lady Warriors 0 as the Lady Warriors will come up now in the bottom of the second inning. Their first batter is going to be Jennifer Robinson, their pitcher. She will lead them off here in the bottom of the second inning. Well, I didn't know if you know it or not, but the Math Zone is back on Channel 46. Check it out. Check out the new feature, Teachers on the Run. Students can call in and get help with their math homework or solve the problem of the day, Tuesdays and Thursdays live at 5 p.m. on WHCS Channel 46.
I was talking with Andy Foley about that program. He said they get hundreds of phone calls coming in, lots of people calling in with math problems. Some of them looking for answers, some of them trying to trip up some of the contestants. I love that. But as apparently it's a very popular program, doing very well, and the kids really like it.
Also, for everybody's information, if you're hooked up online and you want to see the statistics and game stats, players, any information from any of the teams in the Peninsula District, you can on your website dial up WHCS46.sportscombine.com, and that will bring you straight to the Peninsula District website where we have one of the gentlemen that works with us, Bob Killen, who keeps that site up and does a pretty good job of it, and you can go out there and see what some of these girls are doing.
What a wonderful resource to have for the family and the friends and the fans, be able to check out their favorite players. It's just a great thing.
You go online there and you can see some of the articles that have been written on some of the kids, boys and girls, from previous games during the season. Usually it's updated once or twice a day, and Bob does a good job of that. Jennifer Robinson now will lead off the bottom of the second for the Lady Warriors. She is their pitcher. Outside ball. That one almost hit her in the foot. Ball 2. 2-0 is the count.
2-0 to Riley.
You say that was a little low?
Little low and inside. There's a line shot to left field.
What
Caught
a catch.
on the run.
Great play by the left fielder, Keithley. One out for the Warriors.
Ariane Keatley makes a running catch.
Number 9, Jennifer.
Hit in the hole by Robinson and gets the out.
I tell you what, she saved a lot of bases there with that grab.
And that was at least 2 baser. Jennifer Tobin now, the second baseman, is up for the Lady Warriors. 1 out here, bottom of the second. Pitch is low, ball 1.
Jennifer Tobin, and another freshman. We got a lot of freshmen playing in this game. A lot of youth out here, a lot of talent. Not going to do anything but get better. Of course, the Peninsula District so strong across the board anyway.
This is going to be a hard play for the Bake, and she beats it out for a base hit.
Base hit for Tobin.
Infield hit for Tobin. That will be the Lady Warriors' second hit of the game.
There was just nothing Erica White could do with that.
And the ball was hit slow enough where I think I could have run and beat that one out.
No, you wouldn't have made it.
Thanks a lot. Elizabeth Arnold now the shortstop for the Lady Warriors is the batter with a runner on first and 1 out.
Come on, Liz. She's there. She dropped it.
That was a good play.
Yeah, the third baseman for the Lady Bruins came in and made the play. I thought that would have been a play by the pitcher, but the third baseman cut her off. Watch it again.
The key here is Hicks pulling that thing almost out of the dirt. It was close. There's no question about it. Looked like she may have juggled the ball a little bit, but the umpire said she had it.
Yeah, that's out number 2. That's going to bring up, I believe it's Brandy Birch, the left fielder for the Lady Warriors here. 2 down, bottom of the second inning. Runner on second. Swing and a miss. 0-2 is the count.
0-2.
That ball on the outside corner.
That was about a foot outside of the corner.
What, just a little outside. But I tell you what, Janie Stokes is throwing hard. She's putting some heat in there. There you go.
Swing and a miss for the third out of the inning.
Strike 3 to Birch.
No runs, no 1 hit, no errors. There was 1 left on, so after 2 complete, no score here at Francis Asbury Park between the Kecoughtan Lady Warriors and the Bethel Bruins. After 2 complete, no score. This is exactly what we anticipated this game to be. Both teams coming in here with 5-1 records. And this is going to be a game that a break here or a break there is what's going to cost the team.
Yeah, without question. Of course, the only unknown coming in was the loss of Samantha Cave. She's not in uniform today, but as you said, Robinson with a lot of experience under her belt. It's awfully early in the season to be talking about a must-win situation, but both of these teams 5-1 and a game behind Woodside, so the loser of this game drops 2 games back. And how big a hill is that to climb?
It's going to be a monstrous hill in softball when there's only 18 games that they play. You get back, behind by 2 games. It's almost impossible unless somebody really gets hot.
Talking with Larry Estep, the Bethel coach, and Mark Chrisman, the Kecoughtan coach, earlier in the week, and they both said they'd been looking forward to this game anyway, just because it's Kecoughtan and Bethel.
2 rivalries in the city of Hampton that have always been tough, no matter what sport they're playing.
And if I'm not mistaken, Kecoughtan beat Bethel twice last year. I could be wrong.
Jamie Stokes, the leadoff batter in the top of the 3rd inning for the Bethel Bruins.
We'll get our crack.
We'll start off leading off the 3rd inning here.
We'll get our crack staff to check out those stats for us.
Fouled back towards us and over us. That one actually went over us.
Well, I'm glad because as you noticed, there's no
nothing in front
protection in front of us whatsoever. All right. So if the ball comes
but
this
you're
way,
standing off to the side.
have you noticed that?
Oh, did you see that slow curveball that she didn't know whether she wanted to go after or pull it back, and she fouled it off?
I'm telling you, Coach Larry Estep said their Achilles heel was off-speed pitches, and we've seen 2 of them now that have absolutely handcuffed the Bethel batters.
Well, that pitch was actually above the girl's head, and she went to swing and went to go to pull it back, and it was just too late. The ball went off the bat. That's a perfect pitch, 0-2 count. Throw the ball outside on a fastball. Either make her chase it or not, or it's a safe pitch right there. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Top of the third inning. Leadoff batter Jamie Stokes, the pitcher. Little blooper over the shortstop hit into short center field for a base hit. And I mean short center field.
Base hit for Stokes. Brings up the second
That is
baseman,
the
number
Bethel
7,
Bruins'
Brittany Hicks.
4th hit of the game.
Hicks.
Nothing to show for it at this point, but here is Brittany Hicks, the second baseman. No
Good.
outs.
Good recovery by Janie Stokes after getting confused on that one pitch, that high pitch off her bat. For her to be able to come back like that, that's a good job of hitting.
And take a look at the third baseman here. She is halfway up the line, literally waiting for the bunt here. And she does go after it, and the ball's in the dirt. Dropped by the catcher, and did they give her the strike? They did give her the strike, so it is an 0-1 count on Brittany Hicks, but Jamie Stokes advances.
Yeah, more importantly, the base runner advances over to second base into scoring position. So
the bunt may be off, and it was. She did not square around that time. No need to try to advance a runner unless they want to try to get her, 60 feet closer to the plate by putting her on third by doing it. With no outs, that might not be such a bad idea, and that's what they're doing. And it's a perfect bunt. Base hit as the pitcher for the Warriors couldn't get her out in time. That was the one spot on the field that would be trouble for the defense. As you see it again,
just laid it down perfectly.
The third baseman was right there. So that was the only place to go, and she outran the toss. So that's going to send Stokes to third. Hicks is now at first with a base hit number 5 now for the Lady Bruins. Jennifer Roberts, the center fielder, now batting as Hicks just advances to second base on the pitch.
That was a very close play at first base. She just could not get the ball out of her glove in time.
Well, she bunted the ball by her, and that's what the key was.
They're still doing it.
Well, it's a safe play right now because the runner at third base, which is Jamie Stokes, on a bunt does not have to come unless they make the throw to first. Then she could come in because the base is open at this point. Second and third with no out here in the top of the third inning. Still no score with the Lady Bruins threatening as there's a line shot through the legs of the first baseman. But the second baseman makes the out, and Stokes scores.
Brings up catcher number 12, Gabby Gonzalez.
Stokes able to come in and score on that play easily.
Watch it again. You'll see the hot shot right between the legs of the first baseman. But the second baseman was there for the play to make the out. Runner scores. And advancing over to third base is Brittany Hicks. So we have one out. Hicks at third, and it's Gabby Gonzalez, the catcher. First pitch is a strike one.
Once that ball came off her foot, they had no chance of getting the runner at home, but they did a good job of going to first base.
On a fastball outside, she swung and missed that one. 0-2 is the count to Gonzalez. One out here as the Lady Bruins have gone out in front, 1-0. 2 consecutive base hits. There's a ground ball to the shortstop, and she bobbles it. And now they've got her caught up in a. She's going to be out because she ran out of the. But the run's going to score.
That's what counts. They were able to get the run across, but she didn't just run out of the baseline. She almost ran out of the infield.
So we're going to end up with an error on the shortstop on that play to advance her to first base, but then she gets thrown out trying to go to second.
Yeah, she just bobbled it. She just came up a little too quick on it, then to throw in the dirt. And a little bit of bad base running here. It's hard to see sometimes when you turn around and look over your shoulder.
You're trying to avoid the tag, or by then it was all over with. This is Jenny Ryan up to bat on a close play at first base, but they get her for the third out of the inning. So after 2.5, the Bethel Lady Bruins 2 and the Lady Warriors 0, as the Bruins scored 2 runs that inning. Off of 2 hits, there was 1 error, and nobody left.
Did you have 1 error? I thought I had 2 errors on that last play. The throw over to first.
You know, Gonzalez, E6.
All right. Bottom line is Kecoughtan hurting themselves with the errors here early in the ball game.
Well, we have completed 2.5. And as we discussed earlier, an error here or an error there would be the difference in this game. And so far, for the Lady Bruins, that's worked out because they scored 2 that inning, taking 2-0 lead. And midway in the third inning of play, I tell you what, it's so cool out here. Our camera people are all snuggled up. They have all these coats on, except for this guy down the first baseline that's waving a flag with his shirt off. And it almost feels like football weather out here.
You started to say third quarter, didn't you? You've been watching Virginia Tech spring football going on.
Nah. I don't watch college football until they start playing.
Until it's time for college football.
This year for the Virginia Tech Hokies, they're going to have an unusual situation when they finally figure out what they're going to do up there with the legal problems that they've got right now. A couple of players. Well, we'll start the bottom of the third inning of play as the Lady Warriors will send up, I believe it's Christian Smith, the right fielder.
I believe you're right.
This will be Smith's first at bat in the game, as she is the number 9 hitter.
Leading off for the Warriors, right fielder, junior, number 7, Kirsten Smith.
Looked like it might have been a little bit high on the outside corner there, but she got the call. There's a line shot in the hole. If she can catch it, and she did, that'll keep her from getting 2. So Smith reaches first base with a line shot to right field for the lead off the bottom of the third inning. That is Kecoughtan's third hit of the game.
Sarah Brookman doing a good job of getting over there, cutting off that ball to keep the runner at first.
Patty Eubank now the third baseman for the Lady Warriors will be batting. Nobody out. Smith at first. Now let's see if they do the same thing that the Lady Bruins did by trying to advance the runner. And that's exactly what she did and fouls it off.
Eubank with a base hit the first time up. She led off the game with a base hit.
Come on, Patty, let's rip one now.
The third baseman in so close, she better hopes they bunt. If she pulls back and rips one down the line, somebody's losing an arm.
Foul ball off to the third base side. 0-2 now is the count to Eubank. Well, let's see what they do with an 0-2 count here. They're going to take off the bunt signal or still try to advance her. You notice the third baseman's backed up some.
I did notice that.
And she still squares around, pulls it back, puts the ball back to the pitcher. Nobody was covering second base, so Christian Smith will advance to second base on the throw.
Just as good as a bunt, wasn't it?
Number 18, first baseman, Erica Van Ness.
Van Ness now will come to the plate for the Warriors, first baseman. That one's fouled back here out of play.
Eubank pulling back on that bunt, sent it right back to the pitcher. Same results, exactly what they were looking for. Runner moves over into scoring position.
That'll even the count 1-1. That pitch was outside.
That one was definitely outside, but a couple of those earlier pitches were called strikes.
There's a little blooper down the first baseline that falls in for the base hit. Smith at second base held back and waited to see whether the ball was going to be caught before she advanced, so she gets over to third base pretty easily as Van Ness hits a single little blooper over the first baseman's head. That's going to bring up Nicole Mugler, the catcher here.
Yeah, she really had to wait on that. That was going to be a close play if she got to it.
She squared around to bunt the ball, but that was obviously a fake because she pulled it back, and when she did that, the second baseman and shortstop for Bethel started to move towards the first and third base lines and left second base wide open, so advancing was Van Ness to second base. Little looping line drive to the second baseman for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the center fielder, Karen Langell.
Center fielder, Karen Langell.
Got runners on first and third, or second and third, I'm sorry. There's a shot to center field. Nice catch over the head by the center fielder of the Lady Bruins. That will end the inning. No runs. There were 2 hits in the inning. No errors with 2 left on. So after 3 complete, the Lady Bruins 2 and the Lady Warriors nothing.
That was Jennifer Roberts for Bethel going back and making the good catch over her shoulder to end the inning. If she had not caught up with that, it would be a different ballgame.
It would be tied up 2-2, no doubt. So we're done with 3 here at Francis Asbury Park, all tied up at 2 apiece. Tell everybody who our workers are today. Myself, Mike Hauser, along with Roger Cawthon calling the game. Our crew, Andy Foley, he's with the graphics. And Andre Mattingly, instant replay. They call him Slow-Mo Joe. He does a good job. Don Strauss, our engineer and audio. Mike Nowinski is is Mike down to third baseline? Mike's down to third baseline. There you go. Wave at us. Sorry, Mike's down to third baseline. He's on third base camera. Nathaniel Braxton is sitting right here in front of us doing behind the home plate area. And down to first baseline is Susan Bowers. Sarah Myers, also our production assistant, with Scotty Bowers, our director. Don't everybody forget now, WHCS broadcasts live the Hampton School Board meetings the first Wednesday of every month at 7:30. So tune in and be informed of what's going on with all the school board business. And we can start dancing up here now. They got the music riding.
They've got the music going, no question
cuts
about
it off. Well, we're going to enter the top of the 4th inning now, and there we are. We're on camera again.
Number 9, third baseman.
Tell you, it's just good looking. That's all there is to it.
Well, if you happen to have seen it, they didn't have it on there very long.
Erica White.
All right, the Bethel Bruins now will start off the top of the 4th inning. Erica White, she is their shortstop. Erica struck out looking in the 2nd inning.
Erica's a junior. Bats left-handed, throws right. That would just confuse me. I don't know how they can do that.
Oh, I do that. That's the way I grew up playing.
And look what happened to you.
I'm sitting in here in the cold air instead of out on the field, right? Yep, I was right-handed and always batted left-handed.
Erica, by the way, is on the honor roll, and she is dead serious about playing softball in college.
Grounds the ball to the first baseman for the first out of the inning.
Nice play first by Van Ness.
So that with one down, that's going to bring up Amanda Sowash. That is their first baseman here. They'll show it again real quick.
Again, Mike, I'm impressed by the fundamentals that we've seen in this game. Good positioning, kept the ball in front, easy play. Amanda Sowash has been playing softball for 9 years now. She plans on going to Longwood University next year. She wants to be a math teacher. You think that's to be able to keep up with her batting average?
Well, if you have to be a math teacher to be able to do a batting average,
you're doing something right, no question about it. Maybe we could get her on the math zone.
Yeah, there it looks like a little looper over the shortstop's outstretched hands. Couldn't quite get to it, so Sowash advances with her second single of the game as she singled in the 2nd inning. Here it is again. As we just missed the outreach. Wasn't that a great view of that pole?
We've seen that several times now in the game so far. Just some bloopers with seeing eyes falling just over the infield.
Ariane Keithley now is the batter. The left fielder for the Lady Bruins. The runner at first base, Amanda Sowash, 1 out. Here, top of the 4th inning, Bruins leading the Warriors 2-0.
Ariane Keithley, quite the student athlete. Her grade point average, a stellar 3.5. That's about where you were, wasn't it, Mike?
No comment. I was an English major, can't you tell? That one's fouled off. 0-2 now, the count to Ariane Keithley. She also singled in the 2nd inning at her only other at bat. 0-2 is the count. Pitch is a little high, and she wanted to go after that one bad.
That's that outside corner. Sometimes they get the call on that, and sometimes they don't. It's very tempting to swing at that pitch.
And Jennifer Robinson's pitching a whale of a game so far as she's keeping the hitters off balance a little bit. There's a little blooper again into short center fielder that drops, but she was able to get the runner Sowash going to second base because she had to hold up waiting to see whether or not she was going to catch it. And, it was just one of those, just happens to be one of those things that worked out in favor of the Lady Warriors on that play.
Yeah,
here it is. They'll show it again.
You really can't blame her for stopping to watch because the center fielder was coming on strong, and once she did stop, it was a fairly easy play at second base.
Now that's 2 outs now. That's going to bring up Sarah Brookman, who grounded out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning. So Keithley is at first base where Amanda Sowash was put out at second base by the throw from the center fielder.
Sarah Brookman, 17 years old. She's a junior at Bethel. Likes going to the mall. Would that be safe to say?
I don't know of
for
any
about
teenager that doesn't want to do that. I've got two kids that have grown up, married, and gone, and when they went to high school here, Bethel, to Warwick and to Denby, that's all they wanted to do. And they're in the high 20, upper 20s right now. And I've got a 15-year-old son that's all he wants to do is go to the mall. I never have figured out why that was such an enticement for kids to have to go, but they do it. Well, that's the 3rd out of the inning where Brookman pops out to the 3rd baseman to end the inning. So the
3.5 remains. Bethel 2, Kecoughtan nothing.
As you see it again, little pop up.
Patty Eubank moving over into foul territory, able to pick that one off easily. Nice play.
That'll do it for the Bruins in the 4th inning. No run. 1 hit, 1 left on. There were no errors. So after 4.5, the Lady Bruins still lead the Lady Warriors by a score of 2-0.
Mike, I think there were so many questions coming into this year about the Bethel Bruins and how they were going to react to last year's. First of all, they had a tremendous amount of success last year. Then, of course, they get into the regional tournament, and things wound up a little strange for Bethel. They get into the regional tournament against Princess Anne.
Who, if I'm not mistaken, ended up winning the state title last year.
Won the state title. But, of course, what happened to Bethel, a couple of their players had missed a practice, and Coach Estep benched them. And he actually played 5 junior varsity players in that game against the eventual state champion Princess Anne. Lost the game 28-0. So a lot of questions about Bethel coming in. How are they going to act? A couple of those players that were benched did not return for this year. So once again, Bethel is fielding a very young team. Coach Larry Estep.
Well, even with the young team that they've got on the field now, they're doing well, 5-1. They now lead 2-0 going into the bottom of the 4th inning. So they have the talent, even with the new players and the young players. And all this is going to do is going to help them in the future, because they're going to see a game like this, and they're going to say, hey, wow, man, with a bunch of freshmen playing and sophomores playing, we can play against the elite teams and win now. So what do you think they're going to think, when they get into being junior seniors? They're going to be all fired up, ready to go. All right, so we're going to start the bottom of the 4th inning now. Karen.
Not up to bat. Jennifer Robinson.
Jennifer Robinson will lead off.
Now batting for the Warriors.
She is their pitcher.
And doing a great job so far today on the mound.
Ground ball to the shortstop, who makes the play for the first out of the inning. That goes as 6-3 in the book, if you're keeping a book along with us. Jennifer Tobin now will be the batter, the second baseman. Bottom of the fourth. Warriors down 2-1.
Number 9, Jennifer Tobin.
2-0 as the Lady Warriors are doing a good job and holding them as the... I'm looking to see they got 2 hits last inning and didn't score. So they've got 4 hits on the game so far. Nothing to show for it. They've advanced a runner to second a couple times so far, but haven't been able to get past that. Little shot to the... That's a good play right there where the ball ricocheted off the first baseman's glove, and she had to go to her right to get to the ball, and second baseman made a tremendous play to get the out.
Second baseman Brittany Hicks really on her toes on that one, backing up the play.
Watch it
how
again. You'll notice the ball went off the first baseman, that she had just enough to get back to the bag and get him. So if you're going to record that in the book, that goes as 3, 4, and then back to 3 for the out.
There was a foot in there somewhere.
Elizabeth Arnold now is batting for the Lady Warriors. Little foul bloop over here to the first base line. Out of play.
Elizabeth Arnold played junior varsity as an 8th grader. She also plays golf. Now there is someone who is after my heart. Love the golfers. I can't play. I love people that can.
Peel to first base to see if she swung at the pitch, but nope.
Few groans from
1-1.
the crowd.
I didn't think she did. She grounded out to the third baseman in the second inning. This is her second trip to the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike now. As this game seems to be going right along.
Well, like you said, it's 2 really good teams going after each other, and you really just cannot afford to make a mistake here.
And this is the first time
Counts full.
that Jamie Stokes has gone to a full count in the game, too. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And she's really been throwing the ball hard.
High outside as Arnold draws the first walk of the game. Brandy Birch now is the batter, the left fielder.
Now batting, number 2, Brandy Birch.
That's pretty good. You get into the 4th inning before you see your first walk.
By either pitcher.
Yeah.
That was a pretty pitch right down the middle. It's fouled off down the third baseline.
We do not have a radar gun here, but Coach says she's throwing that thing about 55 miles an hour. I couldn't hit it.
Well, I remember back in my early 20s, I used to come here and play a lot. Played with a fast pitch team and really loved the game. Playing fast pitch was a lot of fun back in the early 80s. There's a line shot over the shortstop's head. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Arnold advances to second base as Birch gets their first hit of the game. Puts runners at first and second with 2 down, and that's going to bring up Kristen Smith, the right fielder.
Up to bat, number 7,
You know, you got to give the pitcher a lot of credit. All of these hits seem to be just dropping in some bloopers behind the infield, in front of the outfield. Not a whole lot you can do.
There's only been maybe two hit pitches that were really tagged.
Rocketed out there, yeah. A lot of CNI.
The one to center field which ended up being a tremendous play by the center fielder for the Bruins. That was foul tipped. 1-1 is the count. And as we all were hoping, the rain seems to be holding off. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 down with runners on first and second.
This is
Birch is at first, I'm sorry, and Arnold at second.
This is Kirsten Smith, 2 years on the junior varsity and now her first year on varsity.
Little looper down the first baseline, and that one falls in for a base hit as the Lady Warriors are going to try to score, and she is out at the plate. And believe it or not, that was a good call because the catcher had the plate blocked.
It was a good call, and you really got to love the way the umpire waited on that.
He wanted to see whether she had the ball in the glove. Watch this. You can see, well, you see an arm there, but she had the plate blocked, and look at the umpire looking for the ball. I want to see the ball in your glove. That's exactly what he's looking for. And sooner or later, he's going to make. There he goes. There's a nice look at this view right here. She never touched the plate. Look at that.
That's a great job. Great job of blocking the plate by Gabby Gonzalez.
And Nathaniel Braxton, what a view we got from you on that one.
Yeah, that was good.
Wave
job.
your hand, Nathaniel, so everybody knows it was you that took it. Well, the Lady Bruins, the Lady Warriors come up empty again in the fourth inning after they ended up with 3 hits. But unfortunately, the last one coming in, instead of stopping, she kept on going, being waved in by the coaching staff, and she got nailed at the plate for the third out, and it was a great call.
It was a great call. It was a great play. She really did a great job of blocking the plate, like you said. The runner never reached home plate, never got her foot on it. Then the umpire, you got to love the way he just waited and waited, looking for the ball. He says, if you've got the ball, she's out. And he finally found it.
Excellent game so far. Here we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. The next batter is the leadoff batter for the Bruins, Jamie Stokes. She's the pitcher who's been pitching a wonderful game so far.
She really has been doing a good job throwing hard.
And she is 1 for 2 so far in the game as she popped out to the pitcher in the first inning, and she had a base hit in the third.
And scored the first run. Fooled on that pitch.
So there's that changeup again.
I'm telling you, if they keep up with the change-ups, they're going to keep the score down. Janie Stokes, the pitcher, 3-1 coming in this year.
And if she hopes to get to 4-1, their offense is going to have to come up big here. They're down. She's trailing now 2-0. Whoa, look at that pitch. Oh, was that pretty?
That pitch took 2 days to get to home plate.
And then the batter could have probably swung 4 times before it got there. That's how fooled she was.
Whoa, what a changeup.
1-2 is the count. And she throws a fastball outside for strike 3.
She did a great job of setting her up with the changeup and then came back with the fastball. That was just a fantastic job of pitching.
Brittany Hicks now the batter. She is the second baseman. Call strike on the outside corner. I tell you what, the umpire has been real lenient with the corners of the plate.
That outside corner.
And as long as he's consistent both ways, I don't think you'll see anybody complain.
All right, I'm going to complain. He has not been consistent. Sometimes he likes them and sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he calls them and sometimes he doesn't.
1 ball, 1 strike is the count. 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
Jennifer Robinson is throwing pretty hard too, and it almost looks like she is just really having some fun out there. She's got a lot of control, seems to be in control of the game.
Well, both of the runs by the Lady Bruins have been basically because of some errors. There was a couple of hits involved in there, but the errors allowed it to the inning to continue. So we talked earlier in the game about errors and how it would affect the game. Well, there's a classic case of both runs being scored via errors, and the Lady Warriors now trail 2-0.
That's right.
Full count is the count, and this is her first time pitching a full count in the game. Ground ball to the shortstop, who makes the play and the throw. Out number 2 as Hicks is retired at first base. Jennifer Roberts now the batter, center fielder for the Bethel Bruins.
Good play by the shortstop, Elizabeth Arnold. Again, good fundamentals, good position, strong throw over to first. No. Well, watch the fundamentals. Right in front of it. Good throw. Got her. Good stretch, too.
Pitch is a little bit high. It's got a nice little curveball.
She also throws a drop ball. The only time I ever heard of a drop ball is when I played outfield.
When you dropped it when the ball was coming to you.
Exactly.
There's a base hit to right field as it scoots by the Lady Warriors third baseman as Jennifer Roberts picks up her first hit of the game. That's going to bring up Gabby Gonzalez.
Gonzalez made that fantastic play to end the inning last time, blocking the plate, keeping the run from scoring.
That just killed the rally, didn't it? Top of the fifth. We play 7 innings here in high school softball. So we've got a couple more innings to go here. Now the pitch is a little bit outside by about 2 feet.
Just a little outside. Gabby Gonzalez, a freshman.
There's a little ground ball back to the pitcher who couldn't handle it. The third baseman comes up with the ball and throws her out.
Play. Do you believe that? That was a fantastic play.
That one goes from the pitcher to the third baseman to the first baseman for the third out.
Patty Eubank doing a great job with that. Talk about a close call.
Could you show that again? I want to see whether or not oh yeah. What she saved that other view definitely. Ooh, that's close.
That's close. See,
that's one of those that could go either way.
You can't see when the ball.
Wait a minute. Watch it right there. There's the yellow foot.
You can't see when the ball hits the glove.
Umpire. You cannot fault the umpire on that call because that was one that could have gone either way, and in 9 times out of 10, it's going to go against the batter because the play was made. Andre does it again.
That's right. Good job, Andre. We were at a disadvantage on the replay. You could not see when the ball hit the glove. But, of course, the umpire does not have the benefit of instant replay. And, I think they ought to. I think we ought to put some monitors out there, give them the option to check instant replay as it's happening now.
Yeah, they're showing it again. If you watch the ball come in, if they stop it at the right time, I still see a ball there. I don't know if that's a ball. It was. Could you see it disappear? Right there. Foot's on the bag, and there's the ball. It ain't got into her glove yet.
I think they got her. It was close.
Guess what?
Close.
They got her.
Did he call it that way?
He called it that way.
All right. Well, we'll go with what he said then.
Well, after 4.5 innings of play, its score remains the same. Bethel 2, Kecoughtan 0. As we enter the bottom of the 5th inning of play, that should be bringing up the leadoff batter, Patty Eubank, who is 1 for 2 with a single in the first inning. Is that correct?
That's what I've got. She has
Cool.
a single in the first inning. She sacrificed last time up.
All right. All right, a little tape change there. We get back, and unfortunately probably missed the fact that Patty Eubank just bounced out to the third baseman for the first inning. First out here in the 5th.
Now up, number
That goes 6-3 in the book.
It was a really good bounce out, though. We'll tell you that. We're sorry you missed it, but it was a great bounce out.
Third baseman made a good play as the ball bounced probably chest high as the ball bounced right to her. I mean, what else can you ask for, right?
Sat there and waited on it.
Erica Van Ness now, the batter for the Lady Warriors. One down here in the bottom of the 5th inning where the Warriors are trailing the Bruins 2-0.
Van Ness singled last time she was up.
And I believe we may be giving her a single for that one.
Yeah, I think we ought to give her 2 in a row on that one. The shortstop, Erica White, made a good charge at it, but just could not come up with the ball. It was just out of her reach. I think she did a good job of keeping it in front of her, keeping it in the infield.
Now that's going to bring up Nicole Mugler now, the catcher, with a runner on first and 1 out. And ball gets by the catcher, goes under her all the way to the backstop as Van Ness will advance to second on the play. So they didn't have to do the actual sacrifice to get her to the bag. Pitch was in the dirt, but he did call it a strike. Line drive up the middle to center field as the center fielder makes a great catch and doubles off Van Ness at second.
Jennifer Roberts doing a fantastic job charging the ball, comes up with a play, and able to throw it into second base.
Watch it again. A line shot right to Roberts as she gets the ball, throws the ball back in as Van Ness was already on her way to third base. Double play to end the inning. So in the fifth inning for the Kecoughtan Warriors, one hit, no runs. There was nobody left after the double play. So after 5 complete, the Bruins lead the Warriors 2-0 here at Asbury Park in Hampton. The date of today's game, April the 2nd, one day after April Fools. Did you catch heck at work yesterday because of it?
No, I don't work, so nobody bothers me. And we're just hearing from our crack staff down in the truck that game will be broadcast not only tonight, but a couple of times during the week.
Usually
get them broadcast all weekend long. It's a joy to bring you the action out here.
this game will be shown tonight at 7:00. All right.
The game so far, Mike, living up to the billing.
Those of you interested, this game
Pretty good ball game. The only runs coming off a couple of errors that kept the inning alive. Otherwise, it's been a very hard-fought game. Both teams seem to be up for this one.
Well, that's going to bring up the top of the 6th inning here, as the Bethel Bruins will bring to the plate Jenna Ryan, who is right now 0 for 2 so far in the game. So far in the game, the Bruins have 8 base hits in the game.
Jenna Ryan, a freshman. Check this out, Mike. As far as grade point average goes, she's number 1 in her class. I thought 4.0 was as high as you could go. She's got 4.29. I want somebody to call into the math zone and find out how you do that.
She's taking advanced courses.
I tell you what, she's doing a fantastic job, number 1 in her class. She's also on the swim team. Just an all-around fantastic student athlete, as so many of these players are. You just got to admire the activities they pack into the school year.
And still be able to keep their academics at high standards, too. It's to be able to come out here and play and participate on a daily basis with practice, games, and then to be able to take care with their academics at the same time is a true testament to everybody's abilities to go out and work and do what they want to do. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now is the count to Ryan. That was fouled back towards us, over us. So that's 2 in a row that gone over top of us and didn't hit us.
Lucky for us. I'm telling you, if one comes this way, you are in charge.
Oh, yeah.
I got you.
There's that slow change up again, but unfortunately, or fortunately for the batter, the ball was way out of.
Yeah, but can't you just see the batter just freezing in place as she waits for that ball to get there, wondering if it's an optical illusion?
There's a line shot to left center field. Nice run and play by the center fielder by the Warriors.
Karen Langle just does a great job of moving over and snagging that fly ball. Again, if she had not gotten there, we would have been talking about extra bases for sure. Good play.
Erica White, the shortstop, now bats with 1 out here in the 6th inning here.
Next up, number 5, Erica White.
Erica White 0 for 2, right?
Correct. Struck out looking in the 2nd inning and was unassisted put out by the first baseman in the 4th inning. Ground ball snagged by the 3rd baseman, and the throw gets away from the 1st baseman. So White reaches the bag with an error.
That's a shame, Patty.
Watch it again.
Patty Eubank makes a great play here. Backhands the ball, throws over to first, and just not able to get it in the web. That's a shame. Eubank with a really good play going down the line. Showing some very athletic moves there.
And that, I believe, is the first error by the Warriors today. As Sowash pops out for the second out to the second baseman.
Number 2.
That will bring up Ariane Keatley.
Ariane has 2 base hits in the game.
She has singled in the second and the fourth. 2 down now in the top of the 6th inning. That guy's still sitting down there with his shirt off. Do you believe this? I guess he's numb enough now it's not going to hurt him any.
He's got to be cold. I mean, you know, he's not fooling me. I know he is cold.
Well, I'm looking at everybody else in the stands, and not only they got coats on, but they're bundled up like they're cold.
Look at our cameramen. Every one of them's got 2-3 coats on, got their hoodies on.
We got some out here with plastic bags on. Stealing second base, Erica White is successful. 2 balls and 1 strike is the count on Keithley with 2 outs.
You were just talking about how these kids do such a great job with the athletics and keeping their grades up. As we mentioned before, Ariane Keithley with a grade point average of 3.5. She also plays in the band in addition to playing softball. So what a fantastic job of keeping up the athletics and the grades at the same time.
I remember when I was in high school, and boy, was that a long time ago. I played baseball and was in the band too, and it keeps you busy. It really does.
Dinosaurs roamed the earth at that time, didn't they?
Snicker. I hear you. Oh, nice changeup, and gets her swinging for the 3rd out of the inning.
There it is,
So
Mike.
Keatley
There's
goes
that
down.
changeup that is just handcuffing the Bethel Bruins. Really doing a good job with it.
Well, the Lady Bruins go down. They leave 1. She reached base via the error in the top of the 6th inning. So after 6.5, I'm sorry, after 5.5.
We were talking about our cameramen being wrapped up. It's cold out here, guys. It may not look like it on the field, but that's our...
Hey, and Nathaniel, you got to wave. They got you on the camera.
Nathaniel Braxton wrapped up in a couple of coats, a hoodie, plastic.
He's trying to get it out. He can't even get his arms out of the plastic bag.
Can't get his arms up to wave at us.
Hey, look, wait a minute. He's starting to wave like a... Go ahead, wave them arms, Nathaniel. Oh, he poked a hole in it now. Now they took him off the camera. I guess they just didn't want to see him that much. After 5.5, the score remains the same. The Lady Bruins 2 and the Lady Warriors nothing. Coming up in the bottom of the 6th inning for the Warriors, the center fielder Karen Langgill. And I'll tell you what, she made one tremendous catch in center field a couple of innings ago to stop a rally.
That was a great catch. Great play, no question about it.
That was a shot that was hit to deep center field that she turned around and went running for it and caught it going over her head. Couldn't ask for a better defensive play.
For the Lady Bruins of Bethel High School, Coach Larry Estep, 16 years coaching with Bethel. I asked him what his record was. He said, don't ask. I don't know. He does not know what his record is. He says it's a bunch. We've won a bunch and we've lost a few, and I tell you what a fantastic job he has done over the years.
Well, you know, with the involvement that I've had with the high school area in Peninsula District with pretty much all the sports, not only with WHCS, but also with Sports Combine and some of the other things that I've dealt with over the last few years in coaching baseball and this, that, and the other. And if you go up to any high school coach, they're going to tell you the same thing. They don't know. They do not know what their records have been, because their records during the regular season doesn't mean anything because they strive for the playoffs. There was times this year where we actually asked the coach what the record was in a basketball game that we were doing, and the coach goes, I don't know. You might want to go to our scorekeeper and see if she's got it written in the book. They don't know.
Let's go to the website. I bet the website's got it.
Langell struck out at the plate.
Yeah, she really had a tough time with both of those last two pitches.
Jennifer Robinson now the pitcher for the Warriors is the batter. She is 0 for 2. She lined out to the left fielder in the first inning and grounded out to the shortstop for the first out of the fourth inning.
Janie Stokes is still throwing hard, but she really handcuffed Langell on that last bat. That last at-bat, she had a changeup in there that really had her confused, but on her fastball, she is still throwing hard.
2 balls, no strikes is the count. That's a base hit that gets by the shortstop as Jennifer Robinson gets her first base hit of the game.
That was a solid shot, one of the few.
Yep.
3, 4 solid shots we've seen here this afternoon, but that was one of them.
This is going to bring up the second baseman, Jennifer Tobin. Sarah Adams, I'm sorry, she's been subbed in. Okay. So Sarah Adams comes into the game in the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch hitting for Jennifer Tobin. Swing and a miss.
Sarah Adams is a junior.
0-2 is the count now.
Member of the Key Club, Spanish Honor Society. These guys do it all, I'm telling you. She also plays varsity field hockey. Winner of the Coaches Award last year on the junior varsity.
So this is her first experience up there with the big boys or big girls, however you want to talk about, the varsity team.
The big guys, the big guys.
Did you see that ball die when it hit the ground?
Oh, but she got her.
Yes, she did.
What a great play. That ball, you're right, that ball died when it hit the dirt. We've had a lot of rain last couple of days. The ball hit the ground, it just died. But Brittany Hicks able to pick it up and still make the play. That's just some heads-up play.
Number 22, Elizabeth Arnold.
I was waiting for them to show it again, but let's see if they got a replay on that. I mean, when the ball went over the pitcher's head, that little looper, it just hit the ground, just went like it landed in mud, it just didn't go nowhere.
The field was so wet, they really did not know if we were going to get this game in today. They said if it rained at all today, they probably would not be able to play it, but we've been lucky the rain has held off. But I think that last little pop-up showed us the condition of the field. I think you'd call that a slow track.
Elizabeth Arnold now is the batter. She is the shortstop. Two down in the bottom of the 6th inning now. Swing and a miss. Gets her on the tag, so that'll end the inning. 2 strikeouts in the inning as the Lady Warriors will leave a runner at second base and no score. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left on. So after 6.5, or 5 in it, after 6 complete,
Thank
go
you.
into the top of the 7th.
I knew it was one of them. Going to the top of the 7th inning. Bethel with a 2-0 lead. They've got to hold them here and hope they can mount a tremendous rally in the bottom of the 7th inning to pull this game out. As we were talking before, neither one of these teams wants to pick up their 2nd loss of the year. Woodside undefeated at this point. Both of these teams currently 1 game back. But when you fall 2 games back in what you said, Mike, that short 18-game season, that's a big hill to climb.
Yeah, it's very difficult for any type of an organization to come back from 2 down, and they're a third of the way through the season now. So the Lady Warriors, when they come up in the bottom of the 7th inning, if they can get through this one without letting the Bruins score, have a have a battle because they're going to be coming up in the bottom of the 7th inning with their number 7 or number 8 and 9 hitters, 8, 9, and 1. But leading off in the top of the 7th for the Bruins is going to be Sarah Brookman, the right fielder.
Bottom of the order, number 3, Sarah Brookman.
Well, Jennifer Robinson has pitched really well today. The errors have hurt him. A couple of errors have hurt him, led to the 2 runs, but she certainly has done a fantastic job on the mound.
Oh, did you see that pretty slide? I'd almost call that a change-up slider because the ball moved about a foot away from where it started, and it took forever to get in there. That would fool me at the plate, no doubt. Bethel just cannot hit that pitch. I'm not sure anybody can hit that pitch. Larry Estep was saying that was his Achilles heel, but I'm not sure anybody could have hit that pitch. Well, you figure anybody that short a distance between the pitcher's mound and the rubber in softball, fast pitch softball, throws the ball as fast as these girls are, 50, 55 miles an hour, and all of a sudden the ball's coming across the plate at about 20 miles an hour. They're not ready for it. Brookman, she goes down, strikeout for the first out in the 7th inning. Jamie Stokes, now the pitcher for the Bruins, up the bat, who has done a tremendous job in her own right.
Yes, she has.
There's that changeup. That was a perfect pitch. She leads her off with it right off the get-go with the changeup.
I'm telling you, they ought to just throw that pitch all day long.
Well, sooner or later, if they did that all the time, they'd come back and wallop the ball. But the fastball and the changeup, as long as she mixes it up the way she's doing, she keeps the Bruins off balance.
Well, she's done a really good job of setting them up. She sets them up with a changeup and then comes back with a fastball, and she's recorded a couple of strikeouts that way.
Well, I believe that was the first time on this batter here that she started the batter off with a changeup. She's always started off with a couple of fastballs or outside pitches, and then came back with that third strike. And that's what's really gotten them. This time she starts off Jennifer Stokes right off the bat with the first pitch of a strike. 2-2 is the count. Let's see if she brings that little. Nope. That was popped up down the first base line. Foul territory as the first baseman makes the out number 2.
Erica Van Ness with the catch, no problem, just in foul territory.
Brittany Hicks, as you watch the replay of it.
Van Ness moving over, gets herself under it, almost had a collision
If
there.
you get a chance to run it again, you can run the slow-mo at the very beginning and watch the pitch. The pitch was high and outside, and that's the reason why the ball was fouled off. There's the starts her off with a slow curveball. So the batter had to reach for the ball, and that's the reason for the foul ball to down the first baseline. Brittany Hicks, the second baseman. Here they're going to show that last one again. And watch the pitch. You'll notice the pitch is a little high and outside, so she reaches out for it, and that's why the ball goes that way.
She's been high and outside all day long. We've been talking about the umpire liking the outside corner most of the time.
There's a line
What a
drive.
grab.
Oh, what a grab by the first baseman. Again, 2 great outs by the first baseman.
Erica Van Ness with the snag there right at her. I do hope we get to take another look at that one. That was a rocket. That was a hard shot right at her, and she was able to handle it.
Our crack crew tells us that they can't record them while we're showing them. Well, I agree.
Our crack staff, you got to give Scotty Bowers and the crew just so much credit for such a fantastic job. I tell you, when you and I were in high school way back when, we didn't have camera crews out here recording the games, and we've come a long way. And Scotty Bowers asking us if there were actually cameras in those days. I believe they were black and white. I'm not sure. But let's give Scotty Bowers and the entire crew at the school channel just tremendous credit for the job they do bringing these games all year long. We're going to do a couple of softball games this year, a couple of baseball games, and, of course, basketball and football are the biggies. I know you're looking forward to football season already, Mike.
Oh, yeah, because I can't. It's going to be another tussle between Hampton and Phoebus. There's no doubt. The two teams have returners coming back, and from all reports that we have been given so far by the different coaches that we've talked to, of course, when you talk to a coach, he's going to but
No.
You know.
he wouldn't have a slant on that, would he?
But just by looking at the players that are returning on both of those two squads this year, it's going to be another one of those situations where you can flip a coin. Already has.
All right, this is it, right?
We will go here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Leading off the inning for the Warriors, Brandy Birch.
They've got to get something going. Down 2-0. This is their last chance.
Birch is 1 for 2 on the game. Singled in the 4th inning, struck out in the 1st. So the rally caps are probably on right now. That is the outside pitch that's been called a strike all day.
It's the outside corner. Janie Stokes likes it just as much as Jennifer Robinson does.
That was foul tipped.
And Janie Stokes continues to throw really hard. Again, 50, 55 miles an hour. It's hard to catch up with that pitch. The mound's, 40 feet away?
Not far. 0-2 is the count to the batter, Birch. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Warriors trailing the Bruins 2-0. There's a changeup that's lined to left field that drops in for the base hit. So Birch reaches first base to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning, and that's what they're going to have to do if they have a chance to come back. They're going to have to put players on the run. They're going to have to put runners on the bag.
That's exactly what they needed to do. Birch coming through in great fashion. Watch this. Nice stroke, and again, hit pretty good. Not one of the bloopers that we've seen earlier. That was a pretty good shot to left field, falls in front of the left fielder, and that's exactly what the Lady Warriors are going to have to do if they want to come back in this game. Good strike pitch right down the middle that time. Again, Janie Stokes continues to throw hard.
We have a pinch hitter here. That was fouled off. Lindsay Urashis is the way. That's the way they're telling me how to pronounce her name. Little ground ball to the pitcher as she retires her at first base for the first out of the inning. Birch will advance to second base.
Move the runner into scoring position. That's what they've got to do.
But they can't afford to give out outs here. They've got to have the runners on.
Just a good job of getting the ball down, getting the ball into play, moves the runner over into scoring position.
Patty Eubank, the leadoff batter for the Warriors, now the batter. Strike one is the first pitch.
Patty Eubank's got a base hit and a sacrifice in the game. Right now, she's got to deliver. She's got to bring that run in from second base. This is a pretty good battle. Stokes is really throwing hard, and Eubank can flat hit the ball, and she took a good cut at that one and got a piece of it, but it went on by.
That was fouled back here out of play. Oh, that hit the young lady, or hit the guy right in the jaw.
Did he catch the ball?
No.
Okay.
The ball ended up on the ground.
Well, see, that's what he gets. He did not catch the ball.
Again, 0-2 is the count and the pitch. Swing and a miss. She did not take off to first base to try to get out of that, so that she recorded as a strikeout and out number 2. But Birch does advance to third base, but there's 2 out here.
Yeah, she was
down to their last out.
Totally fooled on that pitch. Absolutely fooled on the pitch. I think the reason she didn't run down to first is she was still looking for her cleats.
Erica Van Ness now is the batter. This is the last chance at this point with 2 out for the Warriors. First pitch is in there for a call strike.
Janie Stokes looking for her 4th victory of the year against just 1 defeat.
Now they're on their way to it unless the Warriors can mount something here. Fouled off. 0-2 is the count, so they may be down to their last pitch.
Well, a home run would do it. I mean, you got a runner on third. If she could knock it out of the park.
What are you looking at me like that for? I'm not going to say nothing. She has to make contact here. Swings at a pitch
There it
that's
is.
outside that was called a strike all day. She didn't have any choice. She had to.
Good pitch on the outside corner. You're exactly right. She had to swing with 2 strikes on her, 2 outs in the inning. She had no choice but to swing at that ball. And again, Janie Stokes doing a really good job of placing the ball on the outside corner and throwing hard all day long.
Well, we need to pick a MVP from both teams, and I personally feel that both pitchers deserved it in this game because it could have gone either way if it hadn't been for the errors in there. The score, they still may be playing. What is your opinion?
I agree with you completely. Both pitchers did a fantastic job today. Janie Stokes was really throwing the ball hard all day long. Jennifer Robinson in complete control of her pitches all day long. The difference in the ball game, as you said earlier, Mike, a couple of errors. That was it. And if it had not been for those errors, we might still be playing at 0-0.
So, Jennifer Robinson for the Kecoughtan Lady Warriors will be the Lady Warriors MVP, and the MVP for the Bethel Bruins, Jamie Stokes. Well, Roger, it was a great job. I enjoyed having you here. Look forward to having you again.
Good working with you.
Final score here at Kecoughtan, where the Lady Warriors fall in defeat to the Lady Bruins by a score of 2-0. Look forward to seeing you next time, Roger, and I think you and I are going to work a baseball game next.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. So for Roger Cawthon, Mike Hauser here at Kecoughtan, final score, the Lady Bruins from Bethel 2, the Kecoughtan Lady Warriors 0. Good night, everyone.